administration. I want to thank Mike Wanchek and Daryl and Joy for coming here today. I also want to thank them for all their support. They give my staff and I a lot of leeway, frankly. They trust us, and it's the ultimate compliment when you have your bosses aren't micromanage you and they trust your decisions, and you just update them once in a while on issues that could blow up. But the day-to-day, they let you run your operation, and that's very much how they operate, and I very much appreciate that. Thank you, Mike. I want to take a second to thank OMB. You don't build a $30 million complex without OMB being involved, and they help a lot. Jesse, Lauren, and Wade were tremendous help. James Galley from our staff is our new capital analyst, senior capital analyst. He does a great job running the numbers, big asset for the utility department. The consulting engineers on this project were CDM Smith. Cecile Topol and Patrick Victor are here. They were basically the project managers for this project, worked very closely together, have a long history with St. Johns County, and I know they're very proud of the facility that we built. Jonathan Beloit is here. Where's Jonathan? Hey, Jonathan. Jonathan's WPC Contractors. They built this plant, and I can tell you, I can't say enough about the job he did and his firm did. This was a very challenging site. It's pretty wet out here, and it's basically a lot of swamp. And we had to make a lot of alterations through the process. He was very flexible, worked with us, and in the end, when it got really tight, you know, he didn't jump ship. He stayed right with us and fought through it and got it done. And so I know he's proud of his plant too, and we are as well. I'm very thankful for the partnership, Jonathan. You did a great job. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about my employees, our staff. And before I do that, I saw Martha Graham here. Martha, I want to thank you. Martha is the Public Works Director for the City of St. Augustine. While we were waiting for this plant to build, we had to divert flow to the city. And sometimes they do that with us, we do that with them. We have a very mutual, very beneficial arrangement between each other. But we had to extend it a time or two, and she was very welcome to do that. And we couldn't do it without the city, so I want to make sure she knows how much we appreciate that. St. Johns County Utility Engineering Department. Our staff is first class. I returned earlier this week from the Florida Water Resource Conference in Orlando. I saw 6 of our PEs presenting papers to packed rooms with a lot of people asking questions, good questions afterward. Great content on issues that we're encountering here in St. Johns County. And then at the closing, I went to a drinking water contest where St. Johns County Utilities represented the Northeast region in the state championship. So, you know, it's just our staff is very well known. I know a lot of utility directors, and they all have a lot of respect for what's going on here in St. Johns County and the utility that we run. So again, I thank you all for your support and help make that happen. Scott Trigg and Terry Pinson worked very closely on this on plant. Scott's the chief engineer of our CIP, and Terry's our project manager on this. And we stole these guys from the private sector, and we're very lucky that we did, and they do a great job. You know, a lot of these guys have the private sector mentality while working in the public sector, and it really benefits our business very well. Larry Miller's in the back. Larry started this project. He's since gone over to development, but he was at Capital Projects when this project got started, so I want to thank him. And Neil Shinkray was our engineering manager. Neil called me yesterday and apologized he couldn't make it today, but he has a large handprint on this project as well, as you can imagine. So operations works very closely with us. Bubba Swan is here. Bubba's got 32 years with the county utility department. This plant does represent a lot of change from the old days. We were talking about that this morning. Charles Hartley is our lead operator. Charles lives and breathes this plant. He was the perfect choice to be lead operator. He started his career with, like many of us here, 20 years ago, and he went to the north and ran some larger, more challenging plants, and he came back home to start this plant up. And he's very impressed with the plant we designed, and he's the perfect choice to run this plant. We had to send him home at night when this plant was starting up. So he just lives and breathes this plant. He's the perfect choice. Very happy. David McClendon hands our wastewater department. Thank you, David. And David Parker's here. David, where's David? David Parker is here. He just retired recently, but this plant was his baby, so he came back and he wanted to see it open up. So we're very glad you did, David. Appreciate you coming back. Today is a big day for the evolution of the St. Johns County Utility Department. Looking back over the 30 years that several of us have been here, it is truly amazing to see the progress we have made. This new facility represents the fundamental principles that this utility department has embraced and that have guided us to success. The first principle is financial strength. The funding of this $30 million complex is a combination of low-interest loans through DEP, matching grants from the Water Management District, reserve funds earmarked for this project, and bond proceeds. All of that is possible because of responsible financial management, consistent competitive rates, and excellent credit ratings. Utilities, as you know, are very capital intensive, and it requires a well-thought-out strategic approach to maximize your resources and assure your success. This facility is a product of that success. The second major principle that we adhere to is environmental stewardship. Our employees are the ultimate environmentalists. No one cares more about our environment than the men and women that operate your utility department. This is their home, and they swim and fish in our lakes and rivers, and they raise their families here in St. Johns County. Our engineers and operations team work very closely with CDM Smith and WPC to design and build this facility. All parties wanted to build a facility to be proud of, but most of all, they wanted to protect our environment. This facility reflects that total commitment to our environment. So now we have full cycle water service. Our employees treat raw well water to high standards right down the road. As I said, we just won the best tasting drinking water for the 3rd time recently. Then we collect and treat the wastewater to advanced treatment levels at a plant like this. And then we provide the reclaimed water for irrigation purposes to homes, golf courses, and common areas. Again, the evolution of this utility from its humble beginnings as an Anastasia sanitary district is amazing, and we should all be very proud. Going through some archival boxes the other day, I found this from the Anastasia sanitary district, which is what we were when Bubba started, and when Randy started, and when I started. It was at ASD. And this is cute, but it kind of depicts how far we've come at the same time. When you look around us and you look at the facilities that we manage and operate, and you think back to those old days when we had package plants and we were running around pickup trucks with no windows. We've come a long way, and it's all because of the support of admin and the board. We really appreciate it. With that, my comments are over. I'd like to call up David Zimmer from CDM to make a few comments as well. Thank you, David.
Well, good morning, and congratulations to all of you. One of the commissioners mentioned that this was a vision 10 years ago, and look at where you are today. So I congratulate all of you on your great work to complete this plant. Our firm, CDM Smith, has been working with St. Johns County since 1990, and we greatly appreciate our partnership and relationship with you. And you have a lot of engineers working for you. You're a fast-growing county. We've had the pleasure to work on some of the most exciting and challenging projects, such as this, the Northwest Water Reclamation Facility. I want to mention that our relationship with St. Johns County started with a fellow named Don Maurer. Many of you may know Don. He actually passed away about a decade ago, and it was actually the same week that the design kickoff meeting started for this facility. People remember Don with very fond thoughts, and I'm sure he's watching us today and is very proud of this group and the accomplishments of this group. I'm an engineer, so I got to tell you a little bit about the technical aspects of this project, and I'll try not to get into the weeds too much. You can stop me, Bill, if I do. But our firm, CDM Smith, we're a global water firm, so we design and build a lot of water reclamation facilities across the world. But this plant is very special. It's very unique, it's cutting edge, and it's going to continue to reinforce the county's leadership in Florida and in the U.S. as a leading provider of water and wastewater service. So I'm going to give you a couple examples. The design team, working closely with Bill's team, designed this with 3D technology. So we weren't working with a flat piece of paper. We were working with computer models, kind of like a video game. So we could see in advance some of the construction conflicts that would occur, work through them in advance, and that would saved money in terms of building this plant. We worked with many here in the Water Management District to secure a backup discharge point. You know, this water typically, as Bill said, will be used for irrigation. It'll be reused. It's reclaimed water. But in the event that it's raining hard and it's flooding and we can't do that, we have a special permit, a backup permit for St. Johns River. Bill mentioned the innovative financing, the state revolving loan funds that reduced financing costs, reduced costs to the county customers. So getting into the engineering a little bit, over here is the advanced treatment facility that removes traditional contaminants, but also treats to very high levels in removing nutrients. So when the reclaimed water is distributed, the nitrogen levels, the phosphorus levels are very low. It's called a 4-stage Bardenfo process. So if you're into that, when you look at the tour, they'll explain that a little bit more. But this is protecting the environment of the rivers and lakes in St. Johns County and in Florida. It's terrific. Some other interesting equipment behind me is the disinfection facility. So when I was a youngster and we would design wastewater disinfection, we would use chlorine. Well, chlorine has a lot of good factors related to it, but it also produces byproducts that can be concerning in the environment. So we're no longer using chlorine. For the first time at this wastewater facility, St. John's is using ultraviolet disinfection. Ultraviolet disinfection, a very strong disinfectant, very reliable, and has a much better footprint on the environment. So that's terrific. That's state of the art. I also want to mention that we used to filter drinking water and wastewater with sand filters and coal filters, and it worked pretty well. Here we're using stainless steel disc filters. New technology, treats to very high level, but it also allows you to treat a lot of wastewater in a small footprint. So the basins don't need to be as big here. So when you pour less concrete, the cost of the project is lower. Finally, the brains of the operations in terms of running this plant, other than the plant staff, they're the real brains, is a computerized instrumentation and control system. It reliably turns pumps on and off. It helps to regulate the treatment and will also help reduce manpower requirements. So this plant could run fairly automated as needed. In closing, this is a really special plant. I think it's a model plant for St. Johns County and for Florida. And I am an engineer, so I like the technical details, but I have learned in my career that successes like this, really, it's not about the technology, it's about the people, right? You have to have a team that works extremely well together. You have to have a vision that the county commissioner set forward. And I really compliment this team. Bill and your staff, Cecile and Dave and Patrick have told me how great it is to work with both your engineering team and your plant team. So congratulations. Room for success, a reason for celebration, and it's a great day. Thank you.
I have to admit I was scared to ask an engineer not get into the weeds, and it worked. So thanks, Dave. Our next speaker, I'm very happy is here. Her organization has a long history with us as well, the Water Management District. And Dr. Ann Chortel is here to speak, representing the Water Management District from St. John's, but I know her well before that, and I've known her to be a very intelligent, very thoughtful person. She's the right person for that job, and so I'm very honored that she's here today, and I'm going to ask her for some comments.
Thank you, Bill. It's a great honor to be here today. First of all, I'm surprised that you get a bunch of engineers together and you guys actually know how to throw a party. That's excellent. And I think we don't get together often enough at the end to celebrate the success. You know, we're on to the next project and on to the next challenge and on to the next crisis. So kudos for this county and your county leadership for their vision with regard to water, your water supply, and the water quality of your resources here. Unparalleled, actually. Very few counties in Florida are where you are today. You're in the lead, and this is very, very important. There's a reason why the lower St. Johns River water quality is improving. You're a huge part of that. This project adds to that. First of all, you're securing your water supply because you're not pulling potable groundwater and pouring it on lawns. You're treating wastewater, putting it in purple pipes, and delivering that to the lawns. It's all good, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for inviting me to the party.
Thanks, Dr. Chortel. Next, I'd like to ask the District Director from DEP, Greg Strong, to come up and say a few words. Greg, very happy you're here, sir.
Well, good morning, everyone.
I'm also very excited to be here today to recognize and support this very important achievement right here in St. Johns County. But I first want to thank our partners and hosts, especially Bill Young and his outstanding team at the county, Patrick Victor and some of the other really smart folks over at CDM Smith, and our other friends in the community who helped to make today possible. Right? So you know, one of the things that we're very proud of in the state of Florida is that we lead the nation in water reuse. Right? That is the process of capturing, converting, and utilizing wastewater that's been highly treated for beneficial purposes. Right? Water reuse not only helps us to conserve and add to Florida's precious water resources, but it also reduces the demands on valuable surface water and groundwaters that are often used for drinking. In addition to that, it minimizes discharges into sensitive water bodies like the St. Johns River that we all care so much about. And we continue to see great progress in this area. In fact, in 2014, more than 700 million gallons per day of reclaimed water was captured and reused beneficially in the state of Florida. That's great news. And this is important because our water supplies are finite, they're limited, while our population and our need for clean water continues to grow. So DEP is excited to see the further expansion of water reuse and conservation here in Northeast Florida and throughout the state as well. We're working hard to protect and improve our resources with programs that provide direct grants and loans to local governments to improve their wastewater and expand their reuse capacity. In fact, the State Revolving Fund has awarded more than $4 billion in loans for wastewater and stormwater improvement projects since it was launched in 1989. And in fact, just in the last 5 years alone, we've had over $1 billion for 120 projects get funded. So that's an amazing success and a great metric to look to. But in addition to critical funding support, this new advanced state-of-the-art facility that we're celebrating here today required a high level of planning and coordination between the county, between US EPA, the Water Management District, and Florida DEP. This successful project was nearly 10 years in the making, from planning, design, construction, and now operation. And now with it up and running, it will serve as the backbone for the infrastructure needs for future development in western St. Johns County. So to wrap it up, thank you for taking a major step forward to effectively plan for the future and to further protect our precious waters. And congratulations for having the vision, the determination, and the leadership to make this important achievement happen. Thank you so much.
Smith would be the next speaker. I want to say a couple brief comments first. When Commissioner Smith came on board, as all new commissioners, I invited him out to the utility department to spend some time with us, and it became very clear to my staff and myself that water was a very important issue to him. He kind of got it right from day one. So we've talked to him over the years about that issue quite a bit, and very impressed by his knowledge and his interest in water. So very, very glad that he's the chairman. While we're opening this new event, I want to thank him for being here today. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. It's a privilege to be here today. It's another beautiful day in St. Johns County, and it's a great day. It's exciting to witness this project after a lengthy process of consideration and implementation come to fruition. I want to express my gratitude specifically today to St. Johns River Water Management District and the Florida Department of Environmental Protection for your assistance in bringing this project to reality. I'm going to thank you specifically, Dr. Ann Shortell and Mr. Strong. Thank you very, very much for taking time to attend today and to celebrate the opening of this facility with us. Projects of this magnitude take time and thoughtful deliberation to decide what is the most economical, environmental, and necessary option. Discussions got real serious about this in 2009. And this area was developing and more folks were prognosticated to move and to enjoy the middle and northwestern sector of the county. County staff, in a collaborative effort with skilled professionals, CDM Smith, dutifully and prudently weighed the potential options. My predecessors, the Board of County commissioners, Commissioner Sanchez, and the like considered and honed alternatives and agreed to the recommendation to proceed with the facility that we have today. It is my duty to congratulate and express my gratitude to see these individuals for their foresight and fortitude. Because of their vision of the future, we, the citizens of St. Johns County, are the benefactors of a zero-discharge facility and the optimum steward of a precious natural resource in our water. The system is designed with redundancy and balanced to provide uninterrupted service to our customers. It will also easily accommodate the projected residential and commercial growth of the future. The diligence and vigilance of these leaders will minimize the need to withdraw groundwater and will maximize the usage of a byproduct. Wastewater is now a commodity. It has an enormous value. This facility is a testament to economic frugality and optimization of environmental stewardship. It is my opinion that the Northwest Water Reclamation Facility is with the right vision, the right facility, at the right place, at the right time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Very well said. Just want to take a second to remind everybody the schedule. We're going to have commissioners and some others come open the ceremonial reuse valve. We're not cutting a ribbon. We're going beyond that today. And release reuse to a system.